Hi everyone, it's Miss Jan and I'm here to show you how to make this fun, spooky paper chain to decorate your house for Halloween. It's not just any old paper chain. We have some nice characters. Can you see we have a cat, a pumpkin, a Frankenstein and a ghost going down. So this will look really cute in a window or on a door, and it's super fun and easy to make. So let me show you how you can do it. Okay, so here is everything you're going to need to make your spooky Halloween paper chain. You're going to need a pencil, a black marker, a pair of scissors, a ruler, my ruler, a glue stick, my favourite thing in the world, some googly eyes, some scotch tape, and some paper in white, orange, green and black, and we're going to cut those into strips. So that's the next thing that I'm going to show you what to do. Okay, right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create some strips, and you're going to cut your black, green and orange paper into some strips that you can make your chain links with. You can, if you want, cut your white paper into strips as well, and use those as blank strips. We just won't be making a character on a blank strip of paper, but you could do ghosts if you wanted to. You could, by all means, cut those into a strip. Maybe we'll do that later as a little extra. So the first thing we're going to do, I'll work on the orange first. And all you're going to do with your ruler and your pencil, and it doesn't really matter how thick you want to do your strips. I wouldn't do them any less than 3 centimeters. I'm going to do mine 4. So all I'm going to do, and this is a really good way, you're going to learn your 4 times table here, is I'm going to mark in 4s along my paper. So you can see I did 4, 8, 12, 16 and 20, and I'm going to do that a couple of times down my page. 4, always make sure that your 0 here lines up with the edge of the paper. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Do it again. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Now I'm going to do it one more time here at the bottom. Again, making sure my 0 lines up with the edge. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. And then all I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my paper around. I'm going to lie my ruler along those little marks I made. Don't worry too much. It doesn't matter a great deal. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we're just going to draw lines across. And then, using your scissors, you're going to cut along those lines. Again, don't worry too much if it's a little bit wonky. No one's going to notice. So then you're going to end up with these, and you're going to have one thin piece, and you can discard that. You don't need that bit. So then you need to do this with your black and your green and your white if you want to, and we can make ghosts. Just thought of that. Isn't that brilliant? Okay, so that's what you're going to do next with all of your pieces of paper so that you get some nice coloured strips. Okay, so I've got all my strips cut, and I cut some white ones as well. So here is all my strips cut. So we have black, orange, green, white and green. So we're going to start off by making a pumpkin. Okay, so we're going to start off by making our pumpkin link. So you're going to need a strip of orange, a little bit of green, and I'm using the edge piece that wasn't wide enough to be a link. So I'm going to use that. You're going to need your ruler, black pen, a pencil. You might need your scissors. Yes, you will need scissors, sorry. Some glue stick, and you might need your Scotch tape. So the first thing we're going to do is measure how much of this. We're not going to use the whole amount because that's going to be quite a big link. So I'm going to measure 20 centimeters. So again, I'm lining up my 0 there. There's my 20 centimeters, and I'm just going to draw a sort of straight line, and I'm going to snip that and put my orange to one side. So this is going to be our link. You can see that's quite a nice good size. So the first thing you can do is you're going to draw your pumpkin face. So here's the one I made earlier. If you can see, I wanted him to look like he's got the cutouts. If you want to, you can draw this out with pencil first. If you feel confident, go for it with your black pen. I'm going to draw it out first of all, and I'm going to go sort of in this middle area here. So his eyes are going to be kind of like candy corn shape, sort of rounded triangles. And then his nose is a smaller triangle. And then his mouth, you want it to be like a cutout mouth. So I'm going to pencil that in, and then I'm going to use that as a guide. And then so I've drawn that in for myself. Then I'm going to get my black pen, my Sharpie, and I'm going to outline and then fill that in. Okay, there you go. There's our little pumpkin face. So when that's going to be coiled up, that's where we can see our pumpkin. So if you can see on my one that I made previously, my pumpkin's got a little stalk and a leaf. So this is where this spare little piece comes in. So first of all, I'm going to snip. This is to make the stalk. So I've just snipped a piece that's maybe 3 centimeters. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cut to make a kind of funnel-y sort of shape. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's meant to be a pumpkin. Nature isn't perfect. There's wibbly wobbly bits in all of it. And then I'm going to fold that over there. And with my glue stick, this is where you might get a bit sticky. I'm going to get a little bit of glue on my glue stick there. And I'm going to stick that there at the top. So he's going to look like he's got a little stalk sticking out. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a leaf shape. So I'm going to use my pencil for this. So it's a curve and a curve like that. And with my scissors, I'm going to snip that. And I'm just going to cut that shape out really carefully. Hello, Watts. Thank you for barking. And I'm going to just pinch it so it makes a little crease. And then at the very bottom, I'm going to fold that up like that. It's a little bit fiddly, this bit. Get a bit of glue on that. And I'm going to stick that like that. And then I'm going to let that dry. So we will come back to that. So that's our first one. That is our first link, our pumpkin one. Okay, great job, guys. Okay, so now we're going to make the cat. So we're going to use a black piece of a strip of paper. We need a couple of googly eyes, marker pen, glue. We might need that. We'll need that eventually when we're constructing. You're going to need a little piece of white. So this is just from the strip that's not big enough, and I'm going to use that to make whiskers. Pencil, I don't need that green piece, and there is my trusty scissors. So again, as we did with the pumpkin, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure how long I want the strip. So again, I'm going to go for 20 centimetres. There's the 20. And then I'm going to go across there. And I'm going to snip that. And I'm going to need this end piece. So I'm not going to get rid of that. So now I've got my strip. That's going to be what my loop is going to be. So as before, I'm going to use this sort of middle section here. That's going to be where my cat's face is. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give him some eyes. So we're going to get sticky again. So here's my glue stick, and I'm going to get some glue on the back of these googly eyes, and I'm going to put one down. Ooh, I'm sticking to everything. And glue that to that one. So we have some eyes for our cat. And if you can have a look at our cat, the one I made before, he's got a nose and a mouth, he's got some whiskers, and he's got some ears. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to give him a nose. So I'm going to do him a little triangle, and then I'm going to give him a little mouth, which is just two little curving up, and I give him some dots. Hello, Watts. Watts is telling us that he approves of our cat. And if you want, you could give your cat eyelashes. I'm going to give him some eyelashes, or you could give him some eyebrows. It's up to you. So now, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make some ears. So here's the paper, and we're going to cut some triangles out. Sorry about that. There's obviously something going on outside. So I'm going to cut. Thank you, Mr. Watts. I'll cut triangle. Excuse me. And I want to try and make them even. Do your best to make them even. If you want, you could even, once you've cut one, take that one and draw around it, so that you kind of get them both the sort of the same size, but they don't have to be, as long as they're nearly there. And then I'm going to cut those out. And these are going to be the ears. Now they're quite big, can you see that? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little fold and another little fold. And either using the glue stick, or you can use some tape, we're going to glue that onto above our cat's ears, above our cat's eyes. Got some cat's ears. That down. Glue that. And stick that down. So now he's got some, oh, it's a pretty cat. Got some nice little black cat ears. And the last thing we need to do is we need to make some whiskers. So now you need to try and cut your paper as pretty much as thin as you can get it without it being too fiddly. So look, I'm gonna have a go at cutting my paper super thin. You might want to get a grown-up to help you with this bit if you want, or an older sibling, but I'm just going to cut some very thin pieces. Again, don't worry if they're all different thicknesses, it's fine. Okay, So I'm going to have 3 whiskers on each side. So I'm going to give myself lots of options here. So now if you want, you can, I think I might be able to cut those in half, don't you? So these are going to go on my cat here and here. If you think they're going to be too long, you can always trim them after they're stuck down. There's another one. They might look quite good. All long. Another one, and then that's quite a skinny little one. I'm going to cut that in half. Now this is the really fiddly bit. This is fiddly getting this stuck down. So you're going to take your, if you can pick it up, piece of paper and just get a little bit of glue on the end there and then position it. One, and then get that one, and try and get the ends to all kind of meet. 2, and then this little one, a bit more glue. I'm getting nice and sticky here. And then 3, 1 on that side. And now let's do the other side. And that's a helicopter going over. We've got all the noises happening today. All the noises happening in Plymouth. Okay. So I'm now going to let that dry. I might trim my whiskers a little bit later, but there we go. That's how you make your cat. I'm going to put that to one side, and now we can make our Frankenstein. Okay, so now we're going to make our Frankenstein. So we need a little piece of black paper, obviously a green strip, a couple more googly eyes, pencil, marker pen, and some glue stick, or if you want to use your Scotch tape, you can. We also need our ruler because we need to measure our link length again. So we're going to do 20 centimeters again. So meeting that up at the end there. There's my 20. Do a nice straight line, and then we can cut across there. And obviously save these pieces, because if you're going to make more pumpkins, for instance, you can cut your stalk and your leaf from it. So there's my Frankenstein, and again we're going to be working kind of in the middle section. You don't want to go too low and you don't want to go too high, sort of somewhere in the middle here. Now the first thing we're going to do is get my favourite things, the googly eyes on. So again, a little bit of time to get a bit sticky. Put one on, and then another. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give our Frankenstein a face. So I'm going to give him a little sort of square nose, and I'm going to give him a wibbly wobbly mouth. I'm going to give him a scar across the top of his head. I'm going to give him one here, and maybe one here. And now what I want to do is I want to make him some hair. So I've got the offcut from the cat, because this is the same width. See that? It's the same width. And all I want to do is I'm going to cut a piece. I'd say that's maybe about an inch, maybe about 3 centimeters. And you want to leave yourself enough room. You're going to fold that over, because that bit is going to be stuck down. So we're going to give him some nice monster hair, and the way we're going to do that is we're just going to cut into that really randomly. Don't make it perfect, we want his hair to be all over the place. So he's got a kind of a spiky haircut. And then using the glue stick, we're going to glue along that fold piece and choose where you put it and glue that down. There we go. And there we have our Frankenstein. And then I'm going to again let that dry so that when we can, it's all going to be nice and firm and secure when we construct our chain. Okay. Bonus one. I did say I was going to show you to make a ghost. So again, here's a white strip. Going to measure that 20 centimeters again. And you only need your Sharpie for this. So there's our strip. Again, we're going to work in that middle section. And so we're going to do a little bit of a ghosty face. So I'm going to do wobbly, sort of wobbly eyes. And then kind of a wobbly mouth. I'm going to give him some wobbly lines. So it looks a little bit like a ghost. So I can add that to my collection. Okay. And next we will put it all together. Okay, so here we are ready to construct our Halloween paper chain. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make some plain links. So I'm going to use some of these strips that I haven't got any characters on. And don't forget, you've got quite a few strips here, so you can make some more, or you can just make some, you can do some extra pumpkins if you just want pumpkins, or extra Frankensteins, but you've got enough there. If you wanted to, you could just make these into chain links. So the first thing we're going to do is measure our pieces of paper so that we can get them all the same length. So we're going to do 20, just snip those down, put those to one side. So we've got some extra links there. You're going to need your Scotch tape. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to construct one plain green. All you're going to do is you're going to wrap those round, get a little bit of tape ready. I'm not ready with my tape, look at that. Let's get that round here. There. Okay, a little bit of tape. Reach round and then just use your tape, just stick that down. Okay, so there's my first link. Now I'm going to take my pumpkin, the first one I made, and I'm going to thread him through. Gets a bit fiddly. Hold him in place, get a bit more tape, and there we go. So there's my first chain. Now I'm going to use the black cat next, so I think the white will be a good colour to go. So I'm going to thread that through. Put that there. A bit more tape. And now I've got my pumpkin. It's got 2 links on it. So I'm going to get my pussycat, my black cat. Here he is. And I'm going to thread my black cat through that white link, go around to the back, find that seam, get another little piece of tape and tape that down. So now, oh, I put in there we go. There's my cat and there's my pumpkin, and I'm going to do I'm going to do the orange link next. So I'm going to put that through. Now if you wanted to make your chain, you could do, say, 2 plain ones in between a decorated link if you wanted to. If you wanted to make it, I mean, you can just keep going with these. That's the lovely thing about this, is that you can just make as many as you want. Here comes my Frankenstein. He's going in there. And then, you know, on the plain ones, if you wanted to, you could write words. You could write spooky and boo and happy Halloween. Or you could do some other drawings if you wanted, or patterns, spooky patterns. So there's my Frankenstein. It's getting longer. And now I'm just going to add this black strip. Through the black strip goes. And attach that. And then the last one, Mr. Ghosty. The bonus one that I didn't think of making before. So there's that. And then we're going to take that. Now you can just make, if you wanted to just do this as a short one, you can, because this could go on, you could put this on a door. You could hang this on a door hanging down like that. So you could have that on your front door as a piece hanging down. But if you made a really long one, you could hang it in one of your windows in your house, or over a door, or over the TV. If you like to, during the spooky season, have a spooky decoration over the TV. We do that sometimes. So yeah, there you go. I hope you have fun making this chain, and I would love to see your creations, especially if you've got them somewhere in situ. That means where you put them up. I'd love to see that. Okay, so can you see that all? I'm just gonna very quickly undo this. Oh. So there we go. There's our chain. Cool. Have fun, guys. Bye.